This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, we have a computer expert here to help us all stay safe in cyberspace. Hope you're having a happy Friday. I'm Ken Karen. This is FYI on SSPTV. Here's tonight's headlines from FYI News 13 and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. 8 people are homeless after fire ripped through 3 homes in Oneida yesterday. Fire companies from throughout the area responded just before 5:30 p.m. 1 home was destroyed and 2 were heavily damaged. No word yet on a cause. There were no injuries reported. State police are investigating the discovery of a suspected heroin packet at a Hazel Township food plant. An employee at Aritza in the Humble Industrial Park was checking dough going through the production line on Monday when the discovery was made. All production on the machine was stopped, the machine was shut down, and all the product was destroyed. Additional suspected heroin packets and drug paraphernalia were located inside the machine. After almost a century of Operation Weir Minerals in Hazleton was scheduled to close its doors for the final time today, the plant, still referred to by many as the former Barrett Henchins and former Hazel Pumps, will leave 76 people out of work. It also means the loss of more than $53,000 in taxes each year for the city of Hazleton. Well, have you been the victim of a hacker? Would you know if you were? FYI's Lisa Sugar gets some tips to keep consumers and businesses safe.
It's a problem that is becoming more and more prevalent. We're hearing about companies being hacked. Not only does it impact the business itself, but it can also impact the consumer. And here to tell us some important information in regards to this is Fred Reck, who is the owner of Innotech Computer Consulting, located both in Bloomsburg and in Hazleton. Welcome, Fred. Pleasure to have you here with us. You spoke recently to the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce about this problem of dealing with IT security protection. I guess, first of all, how serious of a problem is this?
It's actually a very serious problem in that you hear on the news all the time of the large companies, the Target security breach, the Home Depot breaches, a lot of the larger banks that have been breached. But the same attacks that are happening on their networks are also happening on small networks.
What is the most important piece of advice that you had to give to the local businesses here in the Hazleton area as part of the chamber meeting?
Not only is there some very basic things that people can do to protect themselves, and that would be to make sure with their antivirus and their security patches are up to date. But actually the number one risk that businesses have, it really has nothing to do with the firewalls or the protections and things like that. A lot of times it's the actual employees of the business or the users of the systems themselves. So you want to make sure you have the procedures in place, you want to have your people trained, you want to have your policies in place, and then probably one of the most important things is to have all your data backed up. If you have your data backed up, you're in much better shape because then you can just restore it then. So that's a start for what I'm talking about.
Wow, that's pretty important things to be talking about, and things that we don't all think of, and I'm sure many businesses don't think of. But if I'm a consumer dealing with a business that was hacked, it's impacting me as well. So I need to pay attention to the businesses I deal with and pay attention as to whether or not they were hacked.
That's exactly right, Lisa. In fact, the Pennsylvania data breach laws require a business to inform their consumers if they suspect that their data might have been compromised, and that's names, addresses, social security numbers, credit card information. So if a business has been hacked and they know it, which a lot of times they don't know it, they are required to inform the end users on that.
Wow, wealth of information. I'm sure we've only touched the tip of all of this. If anyone has questions, concerns, can they contact you?
Absolutely. We're Innotech Computer Consulting. We are on Poplar Street here on Hazleton. We also have an office in Bloomsburg, and we service the central PA area.
Thank you very much for providing us with some very valuable information for both businesses and consumers.
I appreciate it, Lisa. Thank you very much for having me. I'm happy to help anytime.
Thanks, Lisa, for that interview. Valley Elementary Middle School will hold its annual Spring Craft Fair tomorrow. The event is run by the school's PTA. PTA President Carrie Kupcho tells us what's in store.
Well, we have over 50 crafters this year. That's more than we've, I think, ever had. We have hot food and a bake sale, children's games, there tricky trays, over 45 tricky trays this year. So we actually have a lot of to offer this year.
The event will also feature entertainment from local dance schools. The proceeds benefit class field trips, book distribution, special programs, and more. The Spring Craft Fair takes place tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at Valley Elementary Middle School in Sugarloaf. Later on FYI, we're going to talk with local motorsport journalist Dino Alberto. But up next, we have your weekend forecast, and we'll introduce you to two animals looking for homes. Adopt Me from the Hazelton Animal Shelter is coming up.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazelton Standard Speaker.
We're celebrating at Sand Springs in Celebrations. It is the hottest spot to have your wedding. And each Friday we're telling you about some testimonials, people that had their weddings here and were very happy. So we're pleased to be back here at Sand Springs with Diane and Dale Kivler. And they are going to tell us about their experience, because I believe you got married in May of 2014, right?
That's correct, yes.
All right, so the day of your wedding, May is always one of those months we don't know if it's going to rain, we don't know if the sun's going to be out, but unfortunately for you, we had some rain here, right?
Yes, I was watching it like a hawk all week, of course, and it was 52% all week. And when we got here, it started to cloud up on us. So I was upstairs with my bridal party getting ready, and I was already in my dress, and I was adamant on having it off at 3:30.
Okay.
And Stacy came upstairs and she's like, unfortunately, it's starting to rain. Now, of course, in my head as a bride, I want my ceremony outside because the patio out there is gorgeous.
Right.
Everything's all set up. And I'm going, okay. And she said that she already spoke to Dale, and Dale said, whatever I want.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course he said whatever you want.
So of course, I didn't want to cry, so I'm like, well, just bring it in. Just bring it in. I didn't want to wait. She's like, okay, just give me 10 minutes. So she set up with the staff, which is wonderful, and then she came back upstairs 10 minutes later and said, it stopped raining. And she goes, we could set up outside, is not a problem whatsoever. And I looked at her, I'm like, I'm so sorry. She goes, just give me 10 minutes and it'll be perfect.
I love it.
And then when I was walking down the aisle, it started to rain, but you can't even tell from our pictures or anything, so.
They say it's good luck if it rains on your wedding.
Yes, and we came back, actually back inside for pictures in the ballroom. It was great. We did pictures by the fireplace behind us and everything, and the sun started shining, so we were able to go back on the golf course and get some pictures, and then it downpoured for dinner.
What is your recommendation as far as someone out there was in your spot last year and was planning their wedding and looking for a venue?
Right. Actually, we got engaged in 2012, and I was adamant on a hotel wedding.
Oh, okay.
Because we have a lot of family out of town and a lot of friends out of town, and I just want to give them the convenience of the hotel.
Right.
They could just go right back upstairs. But Dale found it here. As soon as I saw the pictures, I fell in love. I said, this is it. And the ballroom wasn't here yet.
Okay.
So all we saw were blueprints.
Wow.
So we booked it 7 days after we got engaged, and it was the best decision we ever made.
Now, Dale, you were able to actually use the facilities the day of, because unlike us brides, you know, that take 3 hours in the morning to get ready, I'm sure you had nothing to do all morning, right?
Yeah, in the morning, we actually, a group of my friends and I came up. There was 12 of us total. We played golf the day of the wedding.
Nice.
And, you know, it was great. Like, all of us got to go out together. We played a little captain and crew tournament. We actually gave a prize out at the wedding to whoever had the lowest score out of all of us. So it was a great time.
Did you have the lowest score?
Of course not.
All right, and for those people out there who are getting married, I know like usually the bride has the final say, maybe not for you. What is your recommendation to any groom out there?
My recommendation would be to put your thoughts into it. But, you know, in the end, the bride does usually get what she wants.
I love you, Dale. I know why you married this man. The bride always gets what she wants. So when in doubt, just listen to your bride is what you're trying to tell us.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you guys. I wish you many, many years of good luck. You did have rain on your wedding day, so I think you're set for life. He's a lifer, I think. What do you think?
I think so too.
Okay, and thank you for joining us here at Sand Springs. Again, each Friday we're talking with brides and grooms who have their weddings here at Celebrations at Sand Springs.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
Here's a shout out to those living in the Hazelton Heights. How's breakfast at Pat's on the Heights sound? And then maybe at night some bunkers. Good times. And there's good times ahead weather-wise. Here's our forecast from the National Weather Service. The good times, they don't start until Monday. Tonight, a slight chance of snow showers after 11 p.m. Our low will be 19 degrees. To that extended forecast, Saturday, a slight chance of snow showers before 2 p.m. It'll be a mostly cloudy day with a high near 29. Saturday night is cool. 12 will be our low. Sunday, sunny with a high near 37. Sunday night, slight chance of snow showers once again, mostly cloudy. Our low will be 31 degrees. Here comes the warm-up. Monday, mostly cloudy with a high near 47. At night, we'll get down to 30 degrees. Tuesday, there's a chance of showers, but it'll be mostly sunny with a high near 47. And Tuesday night, a chance of rain and snow showers, mostly cloudy with a low around 32 degrees. Tonight's weather is brought to you by Boyer Insurance Agency. They have 2 locations to serve you. One is in Cunningham on Sugarloaf Avenue, and they have another location in Nescapec on Broad Street. You can call them in Cunningham at 570-788-3543 and in Nescapec at 570-752-7683.
Again, and here I have with me Lagertha. Lagertha is an approximately 4 to 5 year old spayed, fully vaccinated rat terrier mix. Anybody who knows anything about rat terriers knows that they're very intelligent, inquisitive, and very loyal animals, as is Lagertha here. Lagertha here is very quiet and pretty laid back. She's very sweet and affectionate and is very close to us here at the shelter. We're not sure what she's like with other dogs, but of course we always recommend you bring your own dog down if you already have one and you're considering adopting. Lagertha is already spayed and up to date on all of her shots. She was tested for heartworm and Lyme and came up negative for both. These dogs are generally very active and intelligent, so we recommend somebody with a decent amount of space, maybe a nice big yard for her to run around in, and she'd probably do well with daily walks. That's it for this week's dog. Let's have a look at our cats. And here I have with me Kasha. Kasha is a young adult, probably about 6 or maybe 8 months old at most. She is spayed and up to date on all of her shots, as well as having been tested for feline leukemia and FIV, and of course she came up negative for both. As you can see, she's a very laid-back, relaxed cat, loves to be held and really enjoys human company. She came in here with a sister, Sasha, who we featured on a previous week, and actually the two of them do very well together. We'd love to see them get adopted together because they are very close, but we also highly recommend anybody who has cats already to adopt either one of the sisters because they do very well with other cats. As you can see, Kasha here is pretty laid back and mellow. She, despite her young age, is not destructive in any way. She's moderately playful, but mainly just wants to be held and loved. So if anybody's interested in Lagertha or Kasha here, or any of the other animals we have up for adoption here at the Hazelton Animal Shelter, please come on down to 101 North Poplar Street.
See Kasha make that jump. It looked a little dicey there in the beginning, but good for you, Kasha. We clicked. Here's your midday winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers on the green screen. Pick 2, 3, 3. Pick 3, 301. Pick 4, 9241. And pick 5, 00709. We're talking racing when we come back on FYI.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
Let's get back in the FYI Fast Lane. Local motorsport journalist Dino Alberto joins us once again. Dino, thank you so much for coming in. You said excitement is building as we get closer and closer to the local racing season, hoping the weather will break. But Dino Alberto will be writing an article for the Standard Speaker about the first racer out there this season, and it's a young guy, Dino.
Yeah, 14-year-old Joey Ruby from Hazel Township, Latimer, actually, about 2 weeks ago, got on track. He's a motocross racer. He went down to Budds Creek, Maryland. He runs AMA. He's in the 125cc class, and he did a pretty respectable job. Both motos that he ran in finished in 6th position. He's running for points this year. He finished in the top 5 a season ago, and he's raring to go. So somebody actually did get out there despite this weather, and not too bad. So he's looking forward to it, and we have everything else just coming around the corner now.
And it's interesting that he's a younger gentleman, teenager, because you sent out a press release about Mahoning Valley Speedway that 14-year-old Calvin Carroll from Andover, New Jersey will be a modified driver there this year. And you listed some other teenagers who have had success. Is this a trend, or is this something that's always happened?
It just seems that at Mahoning Valley Speedway, young talent thrives down there. We've seen them coming in from 12, 13, 14 years old, and they just have a knack. They just do very well down there against some very seasoned veterans. Calvin Carroll, I think he's going to do a pretty good job there. He's racing for Gary Reinheimer of Music, Pennsylvania, a modified racer from the Evergreen days where he raced and also owned cars. And the kid's pretty good. He runs midgets for USAC, so he has a lot of experience traveling up and down the eastern seaboard on the eastern swing of USAC, the United States Auto Club. He has won. His brother is a 12-year-old who became the youngest driver in the history of USAC to win a midget car feature last season. So it's not that these guys don't know what they're doing. They'll be fine. They'll have practice days coming up actually this weekend. So I think it's going to be a pretty good deal to see him come down there and turn some laps on the pavement.
It's incredible. I was still scared to ride my bike down Carson Street when I was that age. Let's go to NASCAR really quick, Dino. And it seems like the top three right now have had great starts to this year and kind of ahead of the pack. Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, and also Martin Truex Jr. What have you thought 5 races in of this NASCAR season?
Right now, Happy Harvick, the reigning Cup champion, seems to be the hot ticket. There doesn't seem to be any stopping this guy right now. He just set a record for consecutive top 2 finishes dating back to the end of last year. And that team that he is with right now, Tony Stewart, the Haas Stewart Racing operation, they have really put that together. They are gelling, and it doesn't seem like anything is getting in his way. He is qualifying well. He jumps into the Nationwide Series car and wins in that as well. So right now, if you're looking for a preseason pick about who would be a champion, right now, he's got it going on. Obviously, Joey Logano, you saw what he did at Daytona, and he's also a terrific qualifier, and his teammate Brad Keselowski just won out at California. That puts both Penske cars into the chase, so they got that taken care of. So right now, very well with those. And you mentioned about Martin Truex Jr. He's from Marietta, New Jersey. So basically, he's kind of a local guy, if you will. But and he raced modifieds at Wall Stadium for many years before moving up. But I'm really impressed with the way those guys are doing. They're in the top 10 in points right now, really holding their own. It's a single car operation, and you think about the fact that they are from out of Denver, Colorado. They're not even nowhere on the map of where the NASCAR teams are located, but they got a really good operation going on there. They are getting their engines from Hendrick Motorsports, and right now Martin Truex really coming around. This is his second year with that team, and I think we may be surprised to see them in victory lane before the year is out.
Well, Dino, I always appreciate your time. Look out for Dino at your local tracks. Also, his article coming in the Standard Speaker on Joey Ruby, and right here on FYI as he comes back in the coming weeks in the FYI Fast Lane. Before I tag in Ron Marchetti, here's 2 scores from this past week on the FYI Standard Speaker scoreboard. Worcester Juhas and Adam Grula got wins for the Big HA in tennis, but they lost to Holy Redeemer in a close one. In boys volleyball, Crestwood topped the Big HA. Well, who's ready for Ronnie? Ready or not? Here he comes.
This signed helmet by Chuck Bednarik will never be worn, and this signed bottle of wine by number 60 will never be opened. Hi everybody, and welcome to this final short shot segments in March. The Sweet 16, Kentucky, Arizona, Duke, Wisconsin, Gonzaga, Michigan State, Louisville, Utah, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, North Carolina, Wichita State, NC State, UCLA, West Virginia, and Xavier. Scratch Wichita State, West Virginia, North Carolina, and Xavier, who all lost last night. So now it's the Swell 12. After tonight, we will have the Elite 8. And after Sunday, the Final 4. Lady Cougar Senior, Jamie Kalaga, made school history by earning the first ever Hazel Area Cougar Bowling State Medal. She also became the first female bowler in school history to capture the Pennsylvania Regional Championship. Now that's quite a big deal. Kudos to Jamie Kellogg on a great season. And staying with bowling, Alan Pecora and Bill Mack, who have rolled 130 perfect games total in their careers, both rolled 300 games in the same match against each other at the Bowl Arena in the Hazelton Business League. Now, how many times does that happen? Mother of God. What else? LA Lakers guard Steve Nash announces retirement after a 19-year NBA career that included 2 MVPs and 8 All-Star games. Nash is third all-time in assists with 10,335. Only John Stockton and Jason Kidd have more. The Princeton women's unbeaten basketball team's run ended against and at Maryland in the NCAA tourney. The Lady Tigers ended their campaign at 31-1. Former Hazel area All-State basketball star Sal Biazzi, who is now a Penn State freshman pitcher, struck out 9 batters in a row, earning him Big Ten Co-Freshman of the Week. Now back to this guy, another sports hero of mine, Concrete Charlie, who died last weekend. Number 60 was the last 60-minute man who was an All-American at the University of Penn, who became the first lineman to ever win the Maxwell Award and was third in the Heisman Trophy voting in 1949. He played his entire 14-year NFL career with the Eagles 1949 through 1952. He was an All-Pro Hall of Fame linebacker and center while missing only 3 games in 14 years. The most he ever earned in one season was $27,000. No Eagle will ever wear number 60 again. The great legendary Chuck Bednarik was 89 and a real neat guy. Kentucky will not lose. Enjoy the NCAA. See you Monday. Till then, stay loose.
Be happy, it's Friday, and go to Bottlenecks for half-price happy hour starting at 6 p.m. They have live music and half-price appetizers.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's social news. First tonight, happy 87th birthday to Andrew Juba Marquez. He celebrates on Saturday. All of our love from your entire family and friends. Happy birthday, Richie Sigilia. Love from your family and friends. Happy 85th birthday to Molly Plitnick. Love from your family and friends. And finally, happy birthday, Rosalie Craig, from Deb, Sam, and all of your family and friends. One more quick announcement. The Greater Shenandoah Area Historical Society will be hosting a rummage sale April 17th and 18th. Donations will be accepted on April 16th. The event will be held at the History Center on South Main Street. At tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Anna Farmer of Hazelton. Services will be held at the convenience of the family and under the direction of the Stanley E. Analowski Funeral Home. Jeanette E. Machesko of Weatherly. Services Monday at 2 p.m. in the Union Cemetery. Arrangements are under the direction of the Turnbach Funeral Home. Francis M. Lesko of West Hazelton. Funeral is Saturday at 9:30 a.m. from the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Friends may call Saturday from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. Carlos Juan Melendez of Hazelton. Funeral is Monday at 9:30 a.m. from the Holy Annunciation Parish at St. Gabriel's Church. Friends may call Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. at the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. And finally tonight, in loving memory and happy birthday in heaven to Thomas Wilkes Jr. Love from your sister, brother, and family. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Sean Corrigan of Sugarloaf. Sean, if you're watching, give us a call right now, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
Ron Marchetti says Kentucky will not lose. I say they will this weekend to Notre Dame. Let's see what happens. We'll see Ronnie again on Monday. I hope to see you then too. Until then, take it easy.